Keith Fitz joins us this Monday morning. That's pretty good news because the Dow is in for a modest rally at the opening bell. All right, Keith, obvious question. I ask it for everybody. Are we at the bottom yet?
Unfortunately, as caffeinated and motivated as I am to see green on the screen this morning, Stuart, I don't think so.
Why not?
Well, here's the thing. We've got productivity going down. We've got costs going up. We've got companies like Microsoft warning, Tesla's warning. It makes me wonder about next earnings season. I think it's going to be the most critical of my career. Jamie Dimon's comments about an economic hurricane may not go far enough if the president doesn't reverse some of these economic lunacy that he is putting forth.
Jamie Dimon was talking about this economic hurricane. That's what we're facing. I interpreted that as meaning we're in for a pretty nasty recession. But you think it's going to be even worse than that. Are you suggesting a depression is possible here?
I think, yes. I think, nobody has said the D word yet, but if the policies don't get reversed, if the consumers don't power up, if the Fed doesn't gain control of this, I think the risk of that is very real and far more real than people care to admit.
But the only way the Fed can get control of it, control of inflation, well, not the only way perhaps, but the big way to do it is to essentially create a recession, is to raise interest rates rapidly, sharply, and create a recession, which squeezes inflation out. That's the only way the Fed can do it, isn't it?
Well, it's the only way the Fed can do it. But don't forget, there's two parts to this puzzle. Supply is also an issue. The ports are an issue. Immigration is an issue. There's a lot of pressure on the system. There's economic policies. If I were president, I would unleash American energy producers. I'd reform the ports with cash incentives to every trucker, longshoreman, and worker able to get stuff off boats. I would immediately take money out of the system because the consumer, if they're really as strong as the Fed believes, can stabilize this.
Now, you're on the West Coast, where the average price for a gallon of gas entirely across the western states is $5 and up. What are you paying right now?
We paid nearly $6 a gallon yesterday when I filled up one of my cars. I'm seeing 10 in some of the outer islands, so this is gas pumps. I've heard, I haven't seen it with my own eyes yet, but I've heard that gas pumps out here are being reconfigured for 4-digit price increases.
Whoa. What's the reaction of folks out west?
Disgusted, frustrated. I mean, you name it, the emotions run the absolute gamut. People have just thrown up their hands and are just furious about how this is going. Well, they know it doesn't have to be this way. And we live within 2 miles of a refinery.
Good Lord. Now, there's a trend towards electric vehicles, especially California and the West Coast. Are those folks who bought electric vehicles thinking about what might happen when you get rolling blackouts?
That's an interesting question. I have not heard that voice yet, but it's interesting because the folks who have bought lots of these electric vehicles are largely new money, people who are not impacted by the gasoline prices per se. The working Americans, the farmers, the ranchers around here, the construction workers, every one of those folks is being deprived of money on the table, food on the table, a roof over their head because of gas prices.
On the left-hand side of the screen, we've got the price of oil as of right now, almost $120 a barrel for West Texas Intermediate. That tells me that gas prices are not going to come down anytime soon. In fact, they're probably going to go up some more. You agree with that?
I do agree with that, and that's exactly why, for example, we talked about Chevron on your show quite some time ago and why I'm sticking with a company like that, because it is going to go a lot higher before it goes a lot lower.
Will you touch Amazon, which will be trading today at a much lower price?
I will not, Stuart, and here's why. Number one, that stock was in a decline before the split, and I don't like to buy stocks that are falling for no reason. Number two, it's personal with me with this stock. That company used predatory business practices to put lots of small companies out of business, including one that my wife owned. And that doesn't sit well with me. I'd rather own something like Costco, which is not only holding its own, but has great growth in front of it.
All right, that's good full disclosure there. That was a good idea. Whatever happened to buy the dip and we're going up, up, up? That was just 6 months, a year ago we were saying that, right? But now, very opposite story. Keith Fitz, thanks a lot for joining us. We appreciate your honesty. We'll see you again real soon. Okay.
Thanks, Stuart.
Hi, it's Keith here. Thanks for checking out today's highlight clip. What'd you think? Did I make sense? Is there something you'd like to add? Make sure you leave a comment down below, and of course, click subscribe to keep up right here on YouTube or sign up for the email newsletter at the link below. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram for my real-time thoughts on markets, analysis, and a whole lot more.